I would not be happy if I was GamersOrigin because anything you guys are predicting right now goes the opposite way.
Absolutely, yeah. I tell you what, Reinforce, you want some tips after this? We can have a chat, I can talk about your predictions, what you need to come out on top. But other than that, GamersOrigin showing up big time. They have played incredibly well, or is it potentially Bazooka Puppiez underperforming?
Both. Absolutely both. Where I think Bazooka Puppiez were not ready to deal with the Doomfist at all. And that's something where coming into the season, you had to be prepared for it. But the second thing is that we've seen much better games out of both Ube and Kenzie in the past. Like, both of them have had very good moments, but it's been rough for them today, especially for Kenzie, who it's been tough.
Absolutely, yeah. No arguments from me there. Kenzie has been underperforming for Bazooka Puppiez. Really need to be seeing him step up a bit. Now we're moving into Hanamura as a map in particular, where I guess team strategy and whatnot can be much more important than I guess individual team play. So maybe this will be Bazooka Puppiez' time to shine. Not to say that individual team play doesn't quite matter, but it is going to be a more favored game mode, I suppose, for Kenzie to not particularly shine, but work with his team.
It'll be interesting. I mean, this is a case where halftime is now over. We'll see if they've just had some time to settle down and come out and work out whatever has been ailing them. But the one thing that has truly been ailing them has been Doomfist, and if they don't have an answer to it here, I don't know if the results are going to be very different.
The teams need to search for this Doomfist counter. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it is. I was under the impression it was actually Sombra. And if there was any time to run a Sombra, it would be now on Hanamura, because the way I believe it is that he's very reliant on his abilities. You get one hack off onto a Doomfist. He's got quite a large hitbox just to boot. It's actually quite easy to get a hack off on him. But it seems that teams are really sort of still experimenting with it. And he does seem incredibly powerful and potent in the right hands. That one-shot potential is crazy.
Well, the interesting thing is that we like to talk about cleanup heroes in Overwatch, and we saw over and over again where GamersOrigin, they get an advantage, and we just see Leaf, it's a 4-second cooldown.
Yeah.
Punch that guy, punch that dude. I mean, I was basically watching a new age Rocky. All that was missing was someone yelling out, Adrian! So, hey, it still could happen. You never know.
You never know.
There's chickens on the stage. You could chase one.
All right, now, interesting factor here. Let's look at these compositions-wise for GamersOrigin. Hardest, is he going to be rolling out here with the Widow? It's potentially there. I mean, it can be very good against sort of the dive meta if you're not focused down, especially when all their efforts are going to be focused on Leaf here. This could be fantastic.
All right, GamersOrigin looking for their way in. And yes, they will be focused on Leaf. He is the man of the hour, well protected within his diva, and immediately punching the opposing tanks back. However, Pipu was not able to get in there quite in time. And now Bazooka Puppiez, they have a 6v5 where they can really sort of corral GamersOrigin and bring them to slaughter.
Rotate around, Rocket Punch coming into them. Leaf can't quite find the target he was looking for there. Does a decent amount of damage in the end to Mete, but he's fallen back for the time being. Now, Artist going to be switching back to the Tracer, a little bit more tried and tested, so to speak. Maybe a bit more fitting for his team's role, but now the fight comes in. The Rocket Punch is out, the Seismic Slams as well as EP, and they're trying to find the picks.
Leaf right now, he's landing the punches, but not getting much follow through from the rest of his team here so far. GamersOrigin a bit spread out, but so are the Bazooka Puppiez. This has been a rather interesting setup here so far. Leaf gonna have to go away, grab the health pack, and while this is going on, Ube is getting some work done here in the Genji, in and around. This has been a very spread out fight.
Yes, indeed, yeah. Very prolonged as well is the word that I would use to describe it, even though it does look like Bazooka Puppiez now are on the up and up, as Ube is just slamming them home with his own little dashes, just basically resetting after time and time again. But now, Hardest, he's just going on a little detour, he's just rotating around in their spawn, just waiting for the right opportunity. I mean, this is the long con. He's just rotating all around the map, looking for that pick.
He wants to pay his respects to the Shimada clan. That is the shrine. He wasn't here to take it over forcibly, but no. He goes into the back line, looking for Mete. Mete under fire. Baby Diva firing back, and he gets back into the mech. The opportunity is gone.
Meanwhile, there's a Nano Boost means in the background. Meza using his own Primal Rage to try and stagger this one out. Bazooka Puppiez getting a decent amount of stall in them, to be honest with you. But with him, he's managed to pick up the kill onto Ube, and with that one entry, GamersOrigin with the superior respawns are looking to take a better fight.
Bazooka Puppiez is now 2 minutes away from getting a first point hold. GamersOrigin, though, the Transcendence is big. Leaf diving right in, under pressure, but healed up by the Transcendence. Now it's time to rain down from above. In over the top, drops right in, doesn't really connect with much.
Not trying to find, he's definitely not getting the kills he's looking for, but the Ube moves in with the Dragon Blade, tries to secure that Rocket Punch straight down, actually picked up Psycho Waffle, and Ube is still alive, but not for long. GamersOrigin cleaning up Mendez with his Tesla cannon, just running them down, and it should be the point going their way.
Took a little bit there for GamersOrigin, but finally they were able to use that Transcendence to really power their push right in. They will be taking point A here, and now we'll get to see what the Puppies have in store for their second point defense.
This is it now. 5 minutes. Quite a significant time bank to work off if you are GamersOrigin now. They do have as well a sound barrier to work off as well. Moving into this, is this the right time to strike now? ZP, do you think they could take it in one, given that Bazooka Puppies are really lacking when it comes to ultimates?
I think this is a time when they have the momentum. They have the sound barrier, they can drop right in, they can make space with the self-destruct. They just need to make sure that no one dies early on here before the barrier hits. They've secured the high ground. This is great positioning, although Leaf takes a nap, immediately woken up. Now, if they drop a barrier, they could have a big moment, and that's a great pulse bomb.
Unbelievable. Just to turn it around for them. GamersOrigin, they needed that now. The sound barrier just going to be the cherry on top once again, trying to keep them alive. Mete going to get desuited here, out of his mech. No more defense measures to try and basically stall this one out. But the longer this fight goes on, the better it is for Bazooka Puppies. They're going to have the respawns, and that bio grenade from Rubicon. Kobe straight into the cranium there of Hardest, brings him down.
GamersOrigin right now still trying to keep this fight in contest. Respawns are in for Bazooka Puppies, but for how long as Poco is going crazy into the back. Ube, a late blade, looking for anything to buy some time, and he's getting it. Got not one, but two supports. He might have taken a rifle to the teeth, but the damage was done.
Absolutely, definitely. Massive impact play there by Ube working around, and now Leaf might be caught. Not quite. They're going to be backing off for the time being, and it will be the reset coming out here now. A bit of a replay. You get to see what Ube was really made of. Slicing and dicing his way through the opposition.
He was made of cutting. Lots of cutting.
And he just gets beat down.
And also, he's in need of a new dentist, so... What's up?
Right, Bazooka Puppies. What is the name of the game for them now? This defense is looking actually very good for them. And now we're seeing Leaf again. He's switching off onto the Doomfist. A change in compositions. Reinhardt is going to be the name of the game with alongside the Zarya. Poco will be running. Very quite defensive in a way. Very sort of slow. This is almost like protecting the VIP in a way.
Well, you asked me about game stats here. Was GamersOrigin, did they have the time to strike? They did before. No, not so much. Bazooka Puppies, they are loaded for this next team fight. And even if GamersOrigin gets a high ground, which they do here, it's still a long road here, as Bazooka Puppies have a lot of ways of turning this fight to their favor. But now GamersOrigin is committed.
So much sustain as well on the available side of GamersOrigin to just basically completely counteract this nano visor, which I think Bazooka Puppies are just holding on to. They're waiting for the right opportunity. Leaf providing he stays alive. Now they're going to be using it. It is the nano visor indeed. Self-destruct sent straight down, flying. Rocket punch not quite connecting. What is that? Goodness gracious me, man. A free K just to boot.
That is a strike by anyone's means. Mete bowling for GamersOrigin. And he connects.
Well, that was exactly what Bazooka Puppy needed then. That was a beautiful self-destruct as well. GamersOrigin, they thought they had them figured out. They thought they had them clocked. They were rotating around with that sort of tank composition. Thought they could take the fight behind the spawn, but it just was not enough. And he was there with the self-destruct in the end. Now, moving on to this next fight. What GamersOrigin have to try and take this further?
They do have the nano boost and the reserve right now, and the potential of Doomfist getting early pickoff, but Bazooka Puppies, they take the fight to them. They bait out the sound barrier and still even get P-Boot. So that couldn't have gone any worse. You've used the sound barrier, you get nothing from it, and you lose your Lucio. GamersOrigin now faced with the prospect of just having the back out and reset.
Can I just say how funny it would be now if Bazooka Puppies end up winning and Reinforcer switch sides?
I was thinking the same thing. This is a case where, at this point, Reinforcer just really embraces new superpower of being able to cause teams to lose by having faith in them. But hang on, we're not there yet. GamersOrigin can still get this through here. And they have a Deadeye set up with very good positioning. So Bazooka Puppies has to be careful.
They have Deadeye, new and improved, by the way, faster locked on speed if you're not too familiar with the recent patches, but does it even matter with Ube moving into the back again, bringing down people? That's not what you need when you're trying to push into this fight now. GamersOrigin is just bleeding time. There's no attempts being made from them. 1 minute, 20 seconds, and they're just trying to build up the ult for this next engagement.
One thing that's really cool here is that they will have the Graviton. They don't have the Meteor Strike to go with it here just yet, but they might, depending on how long this goes. And we haven't really seen too many instances of a great Graviton Meteor Strike combo, so that would be cool to see here. Poco, though, has to be careful and look for a good engagement. As Bazooka Puppies, they're rather split out, and he gets knocked out. But there's the grab.
Good grab, connects onto free, but there's no actual follow-up. The defense matrix was there, and it was actually delaying so much damage from them. Still, the frags are falling. Poco, nano boosted up. He's got the energy, he's got the charge, and he's going for the kills. He wants some deep-fried Baby Diva right now on the menu, and he's going for more Psycho Waffle. 4 into pieces. The Seismic Slam will keep them off, contesting the point to the best of their abilities right now, and it's going to be the nano boost used onto Ube.
Unlimited power, says Poco. Moving right now, but, well, he gets punched right in the face towards the end here by a blade from Ube, who's able to bring it right back out. So as good as that was from GamersOrigin there for a moment, they're unable to keep the momentum going, and they didn't even get a tick. They have yet to get even 33%.
Ridiculous.
15 seconds left. We'll see if they can have a miracle. And if they do, Bren, it's going to be from some earth moving and shaking, as Mendez does have the Earth Shatter up.
That is the man to watch. You are two right there with that ZP Earth Shatter in hand, but he gets knocked off. Oh my goodness, that's not what he needed at all. Now he's going to make the slow, embarrassing move up the stairs. Self-destruct's going to be coming out for them. Still trading out evenly. Kinsey with it now. The Earth Shatter does connect onto 2 Rocket Punch from Leaf. He finds 2 kills for his team, but is it going to be enough?
The Earth Shatter was really delayed, but now it's Leaf versus the world. One man and his rocket arm. Holding here onto the point. Goes for the punch of the soldier, but is juked. Kinsey not having any of that just there. Still, though, the pressure is coming in from GamersOrigin. That Earth Shatter did create room. The respawns, though, now underway from the Puppies.
Much more superior. The overtime ticks down. Leaf tries to go in again. He's got the Meteor Strike CP. Not over just yet. Goes for the Rocket Punch. Tries to get a teammate. Overtime. Still ticking down. Now he uses it. Mendez back in the fight. Lays it down. Collects the kill. Finding the work. He gets the Rocket Punch as well. This could actually be doable.
Oh my goodness. Litter after litter of Puppies are going down right now on the point. And no small part due to this large man with his large fist. Leaf is regulating here on the point. And GamersOrigin, they cap it out with no time left remaining.
That is something that I was not expecting at all. Bazooka Puppies looked like they had that in the bag there. That was looking like potentially a win for them, but that has just made things a lot more difficult. Still, they're not down and out of it just yet because it was capped in the overtime.
I understand what happened here. I can't confirm this, but I want to believe it's true. The desk changed the prediction of the Bazooka Puppies in the middle of that, and that's the only reason why GamersOrigin was able to suddenly get through.
Mid-fight, Johnny was just like, no, guys, I was only joking, by the way. I was only joking. Right, but Leaf, man, he has been performing time and time again on this Doomfist role. It's been phenomenal for them, but it's not just the one-man show. His team have been supporting him as well. Incredibly well. GamersOrigin seem to have clocked where the meta is developing relatively early.
It's very good to see a team use a new hero and then use it well, because the interesting thing here is that we're in the early stages of this, right? Where eventually you will have teams that come out with good counter strategies to deal with the Doomfist, but you're going to get some really good Doomfist players as well. Leaf, though, all that notwithstanding, has put on a very good performance for being this early in the Doomfist age.
I believe it was Leaf that put out the post on Reddit recently on all the tricks of Doomfist. He's one of the players who's recently been absolutely slamming it and trying his hardest to basically figure out all the quirks of the hero itself, to try and figure it out. He does understand the hero on a basis that a lot of other players actually don't at the moment, and that can be a massive advantage for them coming into this, given the fact that a lot of teams just haven't quite figured out the meta.
No, they haven't, and it's going to be an evolving process here where you think about the last iteration of dive meta, right? It took a while for everyone to settle on that being the way to play, is what we saw from multiple different teams. So, likewise, now we're in the era of Doomfist. It's going to take a while for things to settle, but it'll be an exciting ride nonetheless.
Here we have it. The countdown begins. Bazooka Puppies going to be now getting on the offensive, seeing if they can pick up this first checkpoint, maybe even a second one, try and take a map away from GamersOrigin at least. Hopefully, for Johnny's prediction at least, that they will. But my goodness, this is going to be a good one as they're rolling out, just poking and prodding for now. ZP looking for the opportunities, looking for that initial pick, but it is the slow seat once again. They're
taking their time right now, letting Ube... Oh, well, they were letting Ube look, but you look a little bit too deeply, and there's a fist at the end of that tunnel, my friend. So, Leaf taking that Ube early on, and GamersOrigin holding strong against this early assault from the Puppies.
And again, they're running Poco on this Zarya. They've got so much combo potential with the Graviton. It's the power of running the Reinhardt Zarya is you've got so many powerful crowd control ultimate abilities. Not only do you have an Earth Shatter, but you've also got the Graviton Surge, which can combo so nicely. And I got to say as well, Hardesty's been putting on a ton of work on McCree of all the heroes. Incredible, actually, with his flashbangs, time and time again, we've seen Ube getting denied.
The thing about Hardest is that he's a guy who really likes playing McCree. He's been playing it even at times where it's not great, but now the fight is underway. Ube diving right in with his Winston, but Meza, he's paid the price. Bazooka Puppies going to look to make the most of that sacrifice. They get Leaf down early, and that's big for what Leaf has been doing for them. 5-on-5 as the Bazooka Puppies move in.
1-for-1 trade. As you mentioned, still looking for the opportunities. Great little kill there. Discordor. Sam Marriott not quite connected, but GamersOrigin still trying to play this one out. Pulse bomb in hand. Kenzie just waiting for the appropriate opportunity. Does connect it, but the barrier, the shield was there to save him in the midst of it.
That stick could have been so huge, but in the end, it might not even matter as Poco is going to fall, barrier or no barrier. And what we're seeing here are the Bazooka Puppies looking resurgent. They will take this first point and have plenty of time to plan their assault on second.
Now. Right, Bazooka Puppiez going to be getting this cap. They've already moved a few players forward. You know, they're prepping for now the eventual momentum to take them forward into this next point. However, you can't underestimate GamersOrigin here. They have ultimates online. Gravital Surge, it's only about 10% away, and Leaf has that Meteor Strike available. Now, the question is, Bazooka Puppiez, how do they approach this? Ube has the Dragon Blade, and there's no support ults to counteract it.
This is big here for Ube. He has to avoid having Doomfist come on him from above, but if he can do that, it'll be big. However, Meza gets stuck there in the back, and there's the Graviton. Wow. GamersOrigin striking from the Ana and Zarya combination, but the Transcendence able to keep most people alive. Unfortunately, doesn't do much when it's high noon.
GamersOrigin actually switching Benbest over to the Winston, not the Reinhardt, running it for this final point. Getting picks as well, just to seal the deal for them now. They do have still 5.5 minutes to make repeated attempts. Definitely looking very much in the realms of the possibility, to be honest, for Bazooka Puppiez to really take this one from GamersOrigin.
The longest 5.5 minutes of Johnny's life. Let me just let you know right now.
Sweating right now.
So, Bazooka Puppiez looking for their way in. They don't have the Transcendence anymore to support Ube, but Ube has a blade, he has a will, and he doesn't have to worry about the beat getting in his way. So Ube right now surveying the territory. In goes Meza. He has the Primal Rage to be a distraction, and Ube might very well bring out the blade in just a moment.
Still holding on to it for now, waiting for the right opportunity to strike with the rest of his team. And they are finding picks regardless of that. Benbest bringing that Psycho Waffle into the back. Not really what Bazooka Puppiez were really hoping for. I think they were trying to bait out ultimates there, not realizing that they actually have quite a big ult advantage when it comes to them support ults. Losing that fight now, not committing ultimates, is going to probably hurt them now in the long run, given the fact that GamersOrigin now have the opportunity to just build up the support ults, which they were lacking.
It's definitely better for GamersOrigin, where now maybe they get the Sound Barrier up on the next fight. It's going to be pretty close, but they will the Nano Boost. The only upside here for Bazooka Puppiez is that now they can do Barrier Blade as an opening, and maybe Ube is going to feel a little bit more comfortable with that, as the Puppies now moving in from multiple directions. Kenzie coming in off the flank, and the rest joining him here from the left side. You don't see this approach all that often here, but now they're going to dive in, and they're diving in hard.
Sound Barrier to initiate stick, comes in, connects to Kenzie. That's what they needed for this fight. Moving in now, Bazooka Puppiez turning it around. GamersOrigin did not stand an absolute chance in hell, as they are finding the picks all over the place right now, still contesting the points up into the tail end of things, but right now they are just going to be home, sweet home for the time being, finding the picks, even with the respawn advantage from GamersOrigin. They are going to contest his EP, they have the May, but is it going to be enough?
They have the respawn advantage, but everyone died at the same time. It's only Poco that's coming out here, and they are running in one by one and marching one by one. Not a great idea, as Mete blows them up. And now Bazooka Puppiez so close to finishing out this point and being on a winning position for Hanamura. They're gonna do it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock there for Bazooka Puppiez, finishing it in absolute style. 24 it wasn't possible. Now, Reinforcer is definitely sweating. He's thinking, goodness me.
Look, the analyst already mentioned that the desk got pretty warm there the other day. Well, it is boiling there. And the boiling probably just comes from Puckett just staring holes into both Sideshow and Reinforce right now. While smiling. Always smiling.
Always smiling. Yeah, absolutely. This is that double post-bomb kill. Kenzie just setting up for their team. Wonderful stuff in the end. Really performing when we need to. We were talking about him potentially underperforming earlier on, but he has stepped it up, at least for this map now. He has turned it around.
Almost certainly, and this is a case where we were talking just in the preamble about, all right, what do we have to look for these players? We know that Ube and Kenzie have had incredible moments in the past, but they're also players that sometimes turn off. Well, they have been absolutely on for this Hanamura map here so far.
And that's exactly what they needed for them to try and take this away now. They have only got to get a single tick on the board, Bazooka Puppiez, to win this map out. It is 3 minutes, 31 seconds. That's how long Bazooka Puppiez have to defend this one. I should say GamersOrigin have to defend this one for.
Not easy, especially when the prize is only 33% of the point. It's not impossible, but as it is, first point holds on Hanamura are rare. First point holds where you stop the enemy from even getting one tick on the point, rare still. Now though, the Bazooka Puppiez, they are unchained, they're off the leash, and they're moving in to this first point.
Moving in for the kill. Maybe their bite is actually worse than their bark in the end, but we'll soon see as they're rolling out. Kenzie using the Widowmaker, trying to play these sightlines. Can be very powerful, quite potent, and this could be a beautiful kill. Gets tons of damage on. Meanwhile, Leeson to the back, 1 HP in a dream, but Kenzie will not get away with that one.
Kenzie was so close to getting the headshot pick off onto the Zarya. Didn't happen by the slimmest of margins. Bazooka Puppiez. Now as 5 and they get heat early on. That's huge. The healing now for GamersOrigin going to be way less as they look down the barrel of a 6-on-5.
I love the BM. Sorry about the sprayed onto the wall. Sorry about that, mate. Yeah, no worries. But this looks like another kill. What happened here? Oh my goodness, Hardest. I don't think you can blame that on resetting, mate. That was a fight you could have won. You just stumbled back off the map, and still, GamersOrigin trying to hold on, but it's, again, too little too late. This tick will be coming in, and Bazooka Puppiez will be the winners of Hanamura.
Leisurely going to victory are the Bazooka Puppiez. And well, what do we have faith in anymore now, Bren? What do we have faith in as Bazooka?
Not the analyst desk, that's for sure.
I agree. I firmly agree. Aside from Puckett, his smile can charm anyone.
Absolutely. Charismatic guy.
Yeah.
And here's the play of the game coming up as well. We'll see which gamer. Any predictions? Quickly. You've got 2 seconds. Predict. You can't just... I was predicting for you to say who's going to get to play the game.
Yeah.
And you were like, you just stood there like, I'm not going to wait for the play of the game to show up so I get this right.
Oh, look, let me cheat on what I want to predict. I don't want to end up like the analyst desk, man. Like, there's things here that you have to work on.
I'll allow it.
In any case, Bazooka Puppiez looking much stronger on Assault than what we've seen from them all day long. The question is, can they carry this, Bren, into the upcoming Escort map?
That is the question, because they were actually performing quite poorly on Numbani as a map. Now, Assault was one of the maps that was going to be favoring them quite a bit. Kenzie definitely stepped up his own gameplay as well, following up from that. But, I mean, really this next pick is going to be very crucial in the way they're going to be playing this. I mean, out of all the games, they haven't actually switched the map yet, so I can't tell. If I was to make a prediction, possibly Gibraltar, I think, would be the pick here for them. But it is actually GamersOrigin's map pick, isn't it? So I wonder what they are going to be going for.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they go for. You'd think they'd want to go something where they have a plan to use Doomfist rather well, because Doomfist has been central to their plans here so far, and yet it felt like Bazooka Puppiez finally found a way through it on Hanamura.
So we have received word they are going to be going to Dorado of the map choice, and I do quite agree with that. I think, as you mentioned, they want a map that really plays to their strengths with Doomfist, quite susceptibly so. And Dorado's a map with plenty of tight corridors, plenty of tight corners, which you can just get those one-shot punches coming in there.
Really, corners in general. There's an old-school saying in Overwatch of, check your corners. Always check your corners. It came from Reaper way back in the day, where there's always a Reaper at a corner. Well, now oftentimes there's just a man with a very large fist who's has a rocket attached to it.
He's a danger. He's an absolute danger, that man. He can just absolutely take the wind out of anyone's sails. But Dorado is the map. Composition-wise, what are we suspecting from these teams? Obviously, Doomfist is probably the name of the game for GamersOrigin, but do we expect the Bazooka Puppiez to be sticking with something familiar again? I mean, they haven't shown much in the way of flexibility, to be honest.
I mean, for now, I think Bazooka Puppiez, their name of their game has just been to execute better, which they did on Hanamura. For GamersOrigin, they've been the ones that have been more fast and loose with the meta, where they've been willing to do plenty of swap-ups. The throw Nazaria every now and then. Poco, we've seen really flex to multiple different heroes over the course of this, as well as Leaf, who has not always been on the Doomfist, though he's been leaning more towards Doom than not.
Well, Leaf with a standout performance indeed, and Bazooka Puppiez still just formulating what sort of composition they want to go for, and is this for real? Are we actually going to be seeing the return of the mad Australian? Is this for real? Am I seeing things?
Ube's played it in the past. I don't think this is a drill. I think that Junkrat could be making an appearance.
He's coming out to play, ZP, indeed. Now, what are your thoughts on this for this first section of Dorado? Because, funnily enough, it is actually relatively choky. That first initial choke point can be beautiful for the Junkrat spam.
So, you wouldn't call me out here like Hex would and say, like, am I disgusted? And the answer is yes. I'm seeing Junkrat, I'm feeling just waves of disgust. But what we've seen from Junkrat back when he was played here is that you make it very difficult for teams to get through early points, like the Archway. It's a case where sometimes you'll give teams more room in a dive defense. Here, I'd say Bazooka Puppiez, they might give some room in the beginning, but they'll heavily contest that early Archway.
Well, here we have it. The spam just coming in, laying down the artillery, seeing what they can pick off, potentially an early kill, and the Junkrat might have been a surprise pick initially, but no longer. They're going to be realizing those bombs coming in. Quick and flash, just waiting to see if he can pick up anybody on his trap. But now we're seeing actually it's going to be the Reaper coming out from Hardest. Leaf's still on that traditional Doomfist role. But how are they going to be dealing with this spam? They do have a ton of damage mitigation with the shields.
They do, and one interesting thing here too is that Doomfist also has to respect the trap. If he deep dives in, he could find that his leg is caught in something where he can't move. Still though, GamersOrigin just brute forcing this, going right through the spam. No cares in the world. Ube is already down, the evil is dead, and Leaf is turning this room into a party. GamersOrigin just stampeding over the Puppies.
I don't understand the thought process there. Bazooka Puppiez ended up trying to back out into basically a close quarters corridor. It's like, you do realize you're playing against a Doomfist here, right, guys? You do realize one right click is most likely going to be one-shotting one of you, but for some reason they tried to take the fight into the rooms, and it has just immediately lost them this first section entirely.
It wasn't even close. Wasn't even remotely close, as GamersOrigin is continuing to push forward. Fist after fist coming out here from Leaf. And finally, Hardest is going to fall. A little bit of turnabout here for the Puppies, but man, that first section was rough.
Yeah, what a scrappy fight indeed. They do manage to turn it around to a degree, so GamersOrigin are backing off. But look at these ultimates. I mean, we've only been in the game for what, minute and a half? Poco's got the Graviton Surge. They've got the Meteor Strike to combo with it as well. And bear in mind, there's no Diva defense matrix on the side of Bazooka Puppiez to eat up that bad boy. It's basically just free reign for GamersOrigin to get off a solid ground.
I think both teams are going to get to know each other very well because there's two Gravitons in play. So both teams might be messing with the laws of physics. Zarya, you're going to kill us all. But now we look at Poco. Drops the Graviton over the top, from the floor, grabs people on the ceiling, and off the top, it's raining down below. Leaf with the quad kill. That is the Doomfist Zarya combo.
Not to mention as well, Mete, he used his own Graviton in the meanwhile. They tried to take the counter-attack into the back lines, but this isn't the old Zarya, lads. If you get caught into that Graviton Surge, you're not going to escape. And let's look at this now from Leaf's perspective, because this is fantastic. This sheer power. It's basically the Big Bang version 2.0, because the amount of damage you can produce off that is crazy.
Oh my word. Leaf making an impact, to say the least. However, the Puppies on the defense, striking right back. They get down Hardest, and Ube will not be contained. Diving right in. 2 quick kills for the Puppies should give them the stability they require.
Yeah, running them down now. Ube just picking up the stragglers as it stands. Poco might be in trouble. He's trying to back his way out of there. They're chasing him down. And he should be getting out scot-free as he has the damage mitigation again. What was that? I'm speedless. What was that?
Fire. That was fire directly
Fire
from
strike
Mendez.
2K
Yes.
straight into the spawn. That is crazy.
It was hot fire. The hottest.
Oh my goodness. Right, regardless of that though, Bazooka Puppiez, they're going to be happy with that. I mean, if you were pleased with that previous fight, that's got to be putting the cherry on top here. I'm so glad we get to see this from his perspective now. Look at this. Straight down, threading the needle. Oh my goodness.
Meza was probably just as surprised, for the record. You throw so many of those fire strikes out as right, and I was like, it's for some damage. Like, oh, 2 kills. This is nice. I don't normally experience this. But now here comes GamersOrigin. In over the top, a different approach. They have the Sound Bear to support, and Ben Best. He's going to be looking to drop off the top rope with that Earth Shatter. We'll see if he connects.
Bit of mind games going on because they're both teams running the Reinhardt. Not something that we've really become accustomed to for quite some time, but we will see the shield wars are going to be prevalent here. Both of them have the Earth Shatter, as you've mentioned, looking for the opportunities. It's going to be the Soundbar used here by GamersOrigin.
Sound Bear is used from GamersOrigin, but they back out. They don't commit in using this. Now, Bazooka Puppiez, they can drop the B as well. It's like, you think you're holding a concert? This is how you hold a concert, but Ube's down early. The Earth Shatter from the defense doesn't quite connect, and this is a bit of a disaster for the Puppies right now.
Ah, that pin as well. Look at this. Now moving in. Ben Best tries to get the damage off the fire grenade from Rubicon. Does a decent amount of damage, but not quite enough. Oh, a decent amount of healing, I should say, to try and stop them. And they are just falling, dropping like flies. This car will be moving in onto the second payload, or the second checkpoint, I should say. And right now, as it stands, GamersOrigin, again, they're going to get these kills from the forward spawns. Not an ideal situation for Bazooka Puppiez.
Bren, do you see what I see? On GamersOrigin right now, that combo we saw earlier now is up once more.
We have it, as you mentioned, ZP Graviton Surge. They've got the Meteor Strike. It's going to be enough for them to do it justice. We'll soon see. Leaf is just prodding, poking. Graviton Surge, though. That's Bazooka Puppiez moving in with one of their own.
And you saw there, you can't even use the Doomfist Meteor Strike to get out of it. It is a clean sweep. Mete set the table. Ube more than willing to clean up right after. And now, GamersOrigin thrown back. And yet, it's okay. They still have 3 minutes here, Bren. Plenty of time for them to work with.
Definitely a worthwhile point to make, actually, with that one, because 3 minutes on the clock, and they do have an ultimate advantage, because we're looking now, the attention is going to be firmly placed on Poco to get off that excellent Graviton Surge. Nothing to really eat it up. The only thing Bazooka Puppiez have to negate it is a deflect, and even that is a hard ass for Ube, of all people. Now, we'll see if they can make it happen.
They have the advantage, but there's the hammer. Meza trying to equalize, and does by dropping GamersOrigin to the floor, but hang on. There's a Graviton. and there's no follow-up this time around. Poco not getting what he was looking for.
Super questionable Graviton Surge, because now they've got nothing out of it. They're not even getting the kills. As a result of it, Ube just on cleanup duty, finding the frags, and they've just wasted one of the most powerful ultimates they had at their disposal.
I think at that point they should have just accepted it when Meza took them to the ground. You still would have had your combo up for the next fight. They tried to make it work. Poco threw up the Graviton in a bit of a panic, and Leaf wasn't in position to actually capitalize. So tough stuff here for GamersOrigin, and now Bazooka Puppiez putting on what could be a good last point defense.
Here we have it. Mendez has an air shatter of his own, waiting for the mind games. The shields are committed. It's going to be dead eyes from both sides. In fact, it's High Noon all over the place right now, still searching for the correct opportunities to make it happen. Ube in a bit of this spam, still waiting as the shield will transcendence now. Just the entry into this fight. You can see the meteor strike. Kinsey, you can't roll away from that one, man.
McCree can see it's High Noon, but can you see the large man jumping down on top of him? The answer is no. 2 kills here from GamersOrigin as they try and pull this one back in, but the Puppies are fighting right back. It is back and forth, and that's bad for the offense because the payload is not moving even a little bit.
Old school Rubicon collecting the kills for the rest of his team. Putting the angle there. Poco ends up falling, and GamersOrigin, they've lost so many of their teammates now. Mendez is just swinging and missing. He's trying to build up a bit of aggression, bit of possibly his ultimate, but there's nobody nearby for him to hit. Bazooka Puppiez have an F-Shatter of their own here. Meza, if he gets brought down, this could be beautiful for him. What is going on here, though, ZP? The Graviton Surge being committed onto what?
The Graviton is used. It doesn't really get too much. It's not the greatest here from Mete. GamersOrigin, they sense blood in the water. Now they're moving forward like a shark embedded into a tornado. Moving right in, and it works out. GamersOrigin now with what could be map-winning momentum.
They're definitely doing it right now. 45 seconds on the clock. Ube gets whacked across the map. Now he's out of positions. Earth Shatter into them. Graviton Surge keeps him away. The damage is done to Soundfire. Not in time, and they do get the points, the capture in the end. 40 seconds to go. GamersOrigin, it was looking rough, it was looking shaky, but they managed to step up towards the end.
That was tense to be sure if you were a fan of GamersOrigin or if you had a prediction riding on the line there, but they are able to finish the map, and 40 seconds left on Dorado is actually completely fine.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, teams do finish it out with only about a minute left anyways, so the pressure is definitely more on the Puppies here.
It's a difficult final point to push into, especially Dorado in particular. It can be quite hard to close out the games as it stands, but Bazooka Puppiez now, you know, they are going to be a bit nervous about this one because composition-wise, probably going to be wanting to stick with something familiar to them, but they have got to beat this time. They've actually got to cap all 3 points. If they get a better time, that's all well and good, but then it'll be switched again to returning it around, and it's still an opportunity for GamersOrigin to come back. Bazooka Puppiez not quite out yet, though.
No, not in the least. And let's not forget, the path to victory here for Bazooka Puppiez doesn't just end here in Dorado. Let's say that they set a quicker time here and they surpass GamersOrigin in extra rounds. Then what we would be going to is a tiebreaker on Ilios, where both teams would play in a best-of-3 on Control, and the winner there would be the one taking the series. But with what we've seen from Bazooka Puppiez in the last map, and certainly towards the end of Dorado, that is a likely possibility.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely. Bazooka Puppiez have turned it around, especially from that last game, and it was a decent defense as well against GamersOrigin in the end, but they still are struggling to find something to counteract against the Doomfist. It's funny, the most success they've had is when they were sort of running, not quite a mirror competition, but all those, like the traditional tanks, the Reinhardts, the Zaryas, to really mitigate a lot of the damage that was being done to them from Leaf on the Doomfist.
Well, Meza is no stranger to running a Reinhardt. You think back to way back earlier in the year during the Overwatch Carbon series, where Meza was part of the subtitled Complexity Trout series, where he had a decent showing for them as Reinhardt for quite a while. So Reinhardt is where he sort of broke his chops in on Overwatch. So the fact that he had some good plays for Bazooka Puppiez, not a huge surprise.
A lot on the line here for Bazooka Puppiez now. If they lose this map, that'll be it. The set's done, and it'll be GamersOrigin walking away with the win. So they need this win. They need Dorado if they want to try and potentially bring it back here to the tiebreaker and run it out from under them. But up against, again, a familiar enemy. Leaf is playing that Doomfist. Hardest on that to McCree, but that entry pick. Poco falling, of all people there, that set things up.
Poco living up to his name and poking, but he poked a little bit too far, Bren. Now, Bazooka Puppiez with the 6v5 opportunity. They're moving straight in. No oppression on them. Leaf is already out of the fight, and this is already going from bad to worse for GamersOrigin.
Now, when Leaf's out of the fight as well, that's a significant amount of damage gone for GamersOrigin, because as much as McCree can do decent damage, they're still trying to contest this, though. I'll hold that point for a moment, because GamersOrigin is still trying to find the fight, still trying to find a contestant, but they're basically caught again in this massive choke point. Ube has built up his Dragon Blade almost instantly from the Swift Strikes through multiple enemies, and Hardest will beat him down in the end, but not before getting the capture point for their team.
that was really just a moral victory there. No matter what, Hardest wasn't going to be able to turn that around, but he was at least going to kill the ulting Genji. Now though, Bren, the stakes could not be higher for GamersOrigin, where they really do need some stability here in second. Otherwise, they're going to have to defend third for just an ungodly amount of time.
Correct about that one. Right now, as it stands, Rubicon has his own transcendence to make it happen. They can possibly, potentially use it to work their way in, but as it stands, what is Hardest doing here is running into the building, gets caught out of position there by Kenzie. And still transcendence will be used by Bazooka Puppiez to take the fight even further forward. Pulse bomb, not quite connecting really what they were wanted, but Leaf answers back with the fist.
GamersOrigin showing a lot of stability there, where that was almost a must-win fight, just in the idea of giving them some breathing room. Now, you take a look at the tables here. Bazooka Puppiez down some key ultimates. GamersOrigin, plenty of room to work with here, including that Graviton Meteor Strike combo.
It's actually a wonderful fight there for GamersOrigin, because now look at the old situation. Mendez holding on to his own little Earth Shatter here, lays it down, actually connects onto Meza. Unbelievable. Just narrowly missing that bubble, and that will be the cleanup for them, using only one ultimate to win that fight.
Best rocking the Earth and rocking the Puppies in that last team fight. GamersOrigin now feeling much better about their chances here on second point, actually going rather far out. This is a case where you don't want to play too much with fire here. Just back out a little bit, give yourself some room, and set up for your Graviton.
Absolutely, and I've got that available to them. I'm glad you pointed that out, the Graviton Surge alongside the Meteor Strike. Definitely a potent combo, and this time is ticking down. It's gone from 5.5 minutes down to 3.5, almost. And really getting into a bit of a dangerous scenario with it being so aggressive. With the Graviton, he's waiting to bait out the defense matrix KCP.
And he throws it to the back line. There's the Graviton. Leaf, are you from on high? He is. Drops right down. Only picking up Kenzie here early on, but that might be enough. The damage has been done, and the setup is clean. GamersOrigin throws the Puppies back once more.
Again, not a particularly bad fight for Bazooka Puppies, funnily enough. Even though they were the losers at the end of that, a lot of ultimates had to get committed to try and bring them down. Psycho Waffle traded his Sound Barrier for a Graviton, a Meteor Strike, and the Deadeye. So a big exchange of ultimates kicking off there. So Bazooka Puppies now ahead when it comes to the ult economy game. The meta game is developing here. Now,
and this
3
is
minutes.
And this is where 3 minutes left. They must win this fight. They're not going to have a better option in terms of advantages. GamersOrigin, they're holding up front. They do have the Earth Shatter at the ready, and now we'll see what Leaf does. The Sound Bearer's in, goes for one fist, moves to the back, but Ube slicing, but taken down right away. This is very even, more even than the Puppies would like.
And Leaf just trying to basically show off his combos there. One right click will do it. Slams it straight there. The wall. Now a Meteor Strike just to seal the deal, wants to lay it down. Will get left away, but Rubicon does not stand a chance. It's just a mixture of metal there now ground into the wall. Just a basically a nice little accessory there to go along with the paint.
2.5 minutes remaining between GamersOrigin and victory. If they can keep up this iron defense, the Puppies will not be able to get through second, and the map will go to GamersOrigin. And Leaf even piling on. Kenzie not able to get anything into the back.
It's Leaf. Leaf is this major problem for them. The kills, he's setting them up time and time again. The seismic slam into the uppercut. It should be the kill there. Onto Messi, if I could just leave him, but he ends up falling to Psycho Waffle. This good orb placed on him firmly, still trading out evenly. GamersOrigin not out of the fight just yet with the Graviton Surge. Looking for the opportunity, but doesn't quite want to use it just yet. He has enough energy here to finish him up.
And look at what we're seeing right now, Bren. We're seeing GamersOrigin just flood onto the point one by one, staggering things out, and Bazooka Puppies are not able to actually clear them out in a good way. That time, it was Poco, almost freelancing to an extent, got the Graviton Surge and the cleanup needed. We're down to the final minute 30, and Bazooka Puppies, they just desperately need a decisive fight.
This is really dangerous right now. Here we're going to see the Graviton Surge again that just came out from earlier, but a very dangerous scenario when it's currently in the game as it stands, because Bazooka Puppies have 2 support ults, which you can see they're actually committing to right now. The Sound Barrier is going to be used by them to try and prolong this fight out, but nobody has fallen on the side of GamersOrigin. Now Rubicon has built up his own Transcendence, but by the time they use both of these support ults, CP, there's only a minute left, and they've still got to push it the entirety of the second checkpoint.
And they have to do it without a diva in a mech right now, so it's already not a great situation right now for the Bazooka Puppies. Down to their final minute. GamersOrigin doing a great job of just staggering the offense over and over again. And now, Leaf from above, looking for Ube, punches him in the face and takes him down. Soldier, did you really see that coming?
Ube tries to get away with it with the tactical visor, the flashbang combo, finishing up players few and far between, rotating them around, fighting them where they are most comfortable, at least in the close quarters of this map here. GamersOrigin have so many ults, 30 seconds EP. I think this could be curtains.
We thought there might have been a comeback in progress here, Bren, after the last map and the beginning of this round. But there's a possibility that the coach has turned into a pumpkin. Bazooka Puppiez down to their final 12 seconds. We will see if they're able to do some heroics here as Kenzie goes to the Widowmaker.
Here we have it, the Graviton Surge comes out, Mendez with the charge, picks up Rubicon, Deadeye just to finish up the final few kills. Leaf as well, just finding the frags, finding the picks. Overtime will finally burn down to a crisp. Only 2 players remaining, and it's looking like most certainly GamersOrigin taking map number 4. And goodness me, that is some wonderful stuff.
GamersOrigin looks strong pretty much all throughout. A little bit of hiccups on Hanamura in the beginning of Dorado, but their Dorado defense in second, impenetrable to the Bazooka Puppiez offense. And I think what we see here is that the Bazooka Puppiez do have some answers to look for, because in the end, Doomfist proved to be a little bit too much for them.
Leaf was a massive problem. Now, bear in mind, Leaf is probably one of the more capable Doomfists we've seen, alongside, I'd say, probably Effect in the North American division right now of the Contenders. But as it stands, Leaf has just, he's got so much behind him, and he knows all of the techniques and quirks that it's very easy for him to just dominate these games when teams don't have an actual answer for the Doomfist themselves.
And I gotta say, it was still fitting that the play of the game there was Leaf coming down from above, but credit where credit is due. Poco had a very good Zarya game.
Absolutely, yeah, no doubt about it. His Zarya play, overall, I think it's really actually quite entertaining to see that Zarya's come back into the meta with just one tiny change, with the fact that the Graviton now players and they can't actually escape with the heroes that traditionally used to be able to just dive out of the way of it.
Well, guys, if you want to see the faces of relief, we're going to be throwing it back to our analyst desk.